Happy Independence Day. Today we're talking about the American stock market. It's the greatest wealth building engine ever. So enjoy Independence Day, enjoy your hot dogs and fireworks, and celebrate America, celebrate everything, and independence especially, but don't forget about the American stock market. Hi, I'm Scott Hamilton, certified financial planner. We are fee only and fiduciaries. We have offices in Austin and Houston, and we help people planning for retirement. So we'll cover some numbers and then a few other topics, but just from a number perspective, the S&P 500, which is the American stock market, that's the 500 largest companies, American, and over the last 100 years is now, in essence, 100 years old. We have stock market data going back that far. It's roughly the S&P 500. 10% average per year, over 10%. If you had invested $10,000 in 1926, it'd be worth millions today. Even accounting for the Great Depression, World War II, the Cold War, 9/11, the Gulf Wars, Great Financial Crisis, COVID. If you look at a chart, it's a jagged line up and to the right, just continuously improving. And no other asset class in human history has compounded wealth at the rate, the scale, and for the time that the American market has done. It's simply an amazing machine. So let's switch gears, talk a little bit about global. So the U.S. market accounts for 60% of the global market cap. So the economic activity in America is 60% of the world. So it's not all. It used to be higher, and it's decreasing. The international side is growing, but it's 60% in the U.S., 40% outside of the U.S. The U.S. population is 4% of the globe. 4. No other country in human history has produced this concentration of world-changing companies in a single market. Think of this: Google, Microsoft, Apple, Intel, Amazon. These companies, NVIDIA, SpaceX, Tesla, these companies have changed your life on a daily basis. And creator of all these fantastic technologies, from NASA, the space industry, semiconductors, spreadsheets, Excel, Microsoft Office productivity, and now, the whole AI thing is just really taken off. The reasons, all right, so here's some of the reasons why the global markets are just great, but the U.S. is so much superior. Rule of law, property rights, patent law, capital markets, entrepreneurial culture. That's huge. We, as Americans, have a culture. The culture is individualism, rugged, do it yourself, start a company, give it a shot. And as a result of that, we've created thousands of individual small companies that are the backbone of America. And some of these small companies become these giant operations like Amazon that literally change the world. So one of the next topics we're going to talk about is one of my favorite terms. It's the crash resume. And even though these are all bad times, bad, occurrences, the market survived. In fact, it thrived afterwards. So we'll go through a list of them. We'll talk about them. The Great Depression is down 89%. It recovered. You know what the market has never done? It's never gone to zero. What will happen is it recovers. World War II, massive global uncertainty. The market recovered. 1970, stagflation. That was a brutal decade. Brutal. Market recovered. 1987, Black Monday, right? Market dropped 22%. One day, market recovered. 2000 dot-com crash, market's down 50%. You know what? The market recovered. 2009 or 2019, COVID-19, 34% down in 5 weeks, 5 months, it had recovered. Everybody said it's different this time. Well, you know what? History doesn't repeat, but history does rhyme. And it really is a rhyming situation. Markets, we're going to have additional crashes, we're going to have different additional corrections, but the trick is is you have to stay in the market. Most people, the next area we're going to talk about is most people don't fully benefit. And why is that? Well, because they're trying to time the market. It feels expensive. I think I'll just sit this one out. Then, time in the markets, we got a video on that. It's a problem. You got to be right twice. You got to know when to get out, when to get back in. Panic selling during market crashes. The comment, well, do something. I feel like I have to do something. So-and-so got elected. So-and-so invaded this country. There was this type of explosion or war, or, the war militarily, geopolitically, or economically, or there's a currency crisis in Latin America or in Russia, or this hedge fund collapsed, long-term capital management collapsed years ago. It could have taken the market down. It was bad. But you know what? Every time the market recovers. Another thing that people, one of the reasons why they don't fully benefit is they chase individual stocks. That's great. It's a little bit like betting. You can invest in the broad market, be broadly diversified, global, low cost, my three philosophies, right? And that way you don't have to just invest in the whole market. But if you pick individuals, you're adding risk to your portfolio. You can do it, but you probably need a large basket of stock or high conviction. I would recommend most people just pick the broad market, go deal with your grandkids. And the last reason why most people don't fully participate is because they wait to invest until they feel comfortable. And what that means is the VIX, the fear index, has receded to a point now where everybody's in the market buying, and you need to buy when there's blood in the streets, not whenever everybody else is feeling comfortable. So let's switch over and talk about international comparison. This is interesting. In 1989, I went with my graduate school students to China and then Japan. And we were in Japan, in Tokyo, in 89. That was the heyday of their halcyon period, if you will. Good friends from Tokyo. I want you to know they experienced deflation, 30 years of market downturns. It was absolutely horrendous. In Europe, many European countries, they've dramatically underperformed the American market. And emerging markets, they have a place in a portfolio, but keep in mind, high volatility, less consistent returns, political risk, currency risk. So from an international comparison, the U.S. market is absolutely the face of the American culture, the engine that has driven creativity, human capital, wealth, moved more people out of poverty. It's simply amazing. So happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Enjoy your hot dogs, hamburgers, celebrate America, but don't forget to celebrate the American stock market. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. Bye-bye.